edge of town where the echoes ring. We wandered.
Alright folks, get ready to ditch the guidebook and ditch the crowds, because today we're uncovering the unsung heroes of Alloway, Ayrshire. Belleisle Park is our starting point, but we're not sticking to the well-trodden paths. We're venturing off the tourist trail to uncover the lesser-known landmarks, the forgotten stories, and the hidden history that makes this place tick. So, lace up those boots, grab your sense of adventure, and let's dive into the real Alloway, where the magic's in the detail. Belleisle Park is a sprawling oasis right on the edge of town. Now, usually places like this are teeming with tourists, but not today. We're skipping the conservatory, the formal gardens, and we're going to take a left turn down towards the river. And there it is, the Doon River, flowing through the landscape like a misplaced question mark. Now, this river has a bit of a mysterious past. Imagine tiny fishing boats bobbing up and down, possibly even sailing up the dune like miniature explorers. Sounds a bit like a fishy tale. Well, some historians reckon this might have been possible back in the day, before the river decided to take a different route. But hold your seahorses, folks, because there's not a barnacle of evidence to prove it. It's like the river swallowed its own secret. But hey, who needs proof when you've got such a nice walk?
The flowers bloom to the Alloway Railway Bridge in the evening's gloom. Across the art-filled tunnel, the colours gleam, the land of birds.
Let's leave those mysteries behind and head for the coast. Doon Foot, where the dunes dance a jig with the wind. These aren't your average sand piles, no. These dunes are like nature's own playground, sculpted by elements and holding secrets whispered by the sea. You might even find a lost golf ball or two, but let's not get distracted. We've got more exploring to do. Hold on to your hats, folks, because our next stop is Greenan Castle, perched on a cliff like a grumpy seagull guarding its treasure. Now, this castle isn't exactly what you'd call a fairy tale palace. It's a bit more rugged, shall we say? With its weathered walls and crumbling stones, it looks like it's been through a few battles. And it has. It's been a silent witness to centuries of history, from feuding clans to pirate raids. But don't let its rough exterior fool you. This castle has stories to tell. Tales of daring escapes and secret passageways. You can almost hear the echoes of laughter and whispers on the wind. And just imagine the views those old lords had. Talk about a room with a view. They could spot an enemy ship from miles away, though I doubt they had to worry about package deliveries getting lost at sea. So, take a deep breath of that salty air. Let your imagination run wild, and let's see what secrets this old castle has in store. Just a stone's throw from the castle, you'll find the remnants of a less glamorous, but equally fascinating piece of history, the old salt works. Yep, that's right, salt. Back in the day, this was the place to be if you wanted to spice up your life, medieval style. The monks of Melrose Abbey even got in on the action, thanks to a generous donation from a certain Roger de Scalbrook. Now, all that's left are a few whispers of the past, a ghostly reminder of the hard work and ingenuity that went into extracting this precious commodity. Now, here's something that will really tickle your history bone. This area wasn't always just castles and saltworks. Oh no, long before any of that, this very spot was home to a fort, a real-life ancient stronghold. We're talking way back, folks, to a time when the only GPS was the position of the stars. This fort, a series of ditches and ramparts, stood guard over the land, a silent guardian against who knows what dangers that lurked in the shadows. It's a hidden chapter in Greenham's history, buried beneath the soil and revealed only through the whispers of aerial photography and the careful hands of archaeologists. So as you wander this windswept landscape, just imagine the echoes of those ancient warriors, the clash of swords, and the murmur of ancient languages. It's enough to give you goosebumps. Or maybe that's just the sea breeze. Now, let's stretch our legs and follow this little slice of Ayrshire Coastal Path. Don't worry, we won't be swimming anytime soon. This section takes us inland, away from the dramatic cliffs and crashing waves. It's a chance to catch your breath, admire the wildflowers, and perhaps even spot a bunny or two hopping along the path. But don't get too comfortable, because our next destination awaits, just around the bend and through the trees. And there it is, the Alloway Railway Bridge, a relic of a bygone era when steam engines chugged their way through the countryside. Now it's our own personal walkway, a bridge between the past and present. As we stroll across, take a moment to peek over the edge and gaze at the Doon River. You might even spot a fisherman or two, casting their lines in hopes of a catch. But don't worry, we won't be stopping for a fishing lesson today. We've got a date with destiny. Now hold on to your hats and prepare to be amazed, because we're about to step into a world of colour and creativity. Right here, beneath the old railway line, is the Alloway Railway Tunnel, transformed from a dark and dreary passage into a vibrant masterpiece. This isn't just any graffiti, folks. This is art with a capital A. A symphony of colours and images that dance along the walls. Local artists inspired by rich history and the natural beauty of Ayrshire have poured their hearts and souls into this project. You will find nods to Robert Burns, of course, the Bard of Ayrshire himself, but there's so much more to discover, from whimsical woodland creatures to scenes of rural life. This tunnel is a visual feast for the eyes. It's like walking through a storybook, each image sparking the imagination and inviting you to explore further. So take your time, soak in the atmosphere, and let the art transport you to another world. Who knows, you might even be inspired to pick up a paintbrush yourself. Right then, let's bid farewell to the coastal path and dive headfirst into Robert Burns' country. This is where the magic happened, folks, where a humble ploughman with a gift for words became a national icon. Robbie Burns, the Bard of Ayrshire, the poet who could make a haggis sound romantic and a louse seem poetic. Now, as we wander through this bonny landscape, keep your eyes peeled for some quirky surprises. You might spot a giant mouse sculpture, or a bronze statue of Tam O'Shanter on his midnight ride. It's like a scavenger hunt, but instead of clues, you get art. And who said literature couldn't be fun? And then we arrive at Roselle Estate, a haven of greenery and tranquillity. As we cross this sprawling lawn, it's easy to imagine the grand garden parties and croquet matches taking place here. The house itself, a majestic mansion nestled amongst the trees, looks like something out of a period drama. It's a shame it's closed today, but hey, we can still admire its grandeur from afar. And who knows, maybe we'll spot a ghostly figure peering out of a window, or a mischievous squirrel scampering across the rooftop. But let's not linger too long, folks. We've got more ground to cover, or should I say, more lawn to mow. Now, as we wander back into Belleisle Park, let's not forget the unsung heroes of this grand estate. Behind every magnificent mansion, there's a team of hard-working folks keeping the wheels turning, or in this case, the gardens blooming. Here we stumble upon the remnants of the servants' hall, the gardener's house, and even a chase house. It's like stepping into a real-life Downton Abbey, minus the drama and the fancy dress. These ruins tell a story of a different kind, a glimpse into the lives of those who lived and worked in the shadows of the grand house. Can you imagine the clatter of pots and pans in the servants' hall, the smell of freshly baked bread wafting through the air? Or the gardener's house, overflowing with tools and seeds, a haven for green thumbs and muddy boots? And the chase house, a resting place for carriages and horses, a hub of activity as guests arrived and departed. It's a fascinating glimpse into a world we often forget, a reminder that history isn't just about kings and queens, but also about the ordinary people who made their lives extraordinary. Well, folks, we've wandered through history, explored ancient ruins, and discovered hidden gems. From riverbanks to castle walls, from bustling towns to tranquil parks, Alloway has truly shown us its many faces. But just like the twists and turns of the Ayrshire Coastal Path, our journey isn't over yet. There are always more stories to uncover, more beauty to behold, and more adventures to be had. So lace up your boots, grab your camera, and let's keep exploring. Remember, the most fascinating tales often lie off the beaten path, waiting to be discovered. And as Robert Burns himself might say, the greatest stories come after the longest walks. Until next time, keep exploring, keep laughing, and keep those feet moving.
And it burns where the poet's tree was a state where the lawns are grand, and the history whispers through the quiet land. From the servants' hall to the gardener's grace, every stone, every leaf tells a story's trace. To the whispers of history rustling in the rustling trees, with the dunes flow and the castles lore in the heart of Scotland, we'll explore once more. In the heart of Scotland, we'll explore once more. In the heart of Scotland.